Hello and welcome everyone. It's me, DZ Maven again, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Master Grade Rick-DS. It's from Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. This happens to be probably one of my favorite grunt suits. I have a few, but this is probably one of the ones I do generally like the best. As you can see here, I got the general purpose one. There's also a red version you can get, which is the one piloted by Quattro Bagina, aka Char Aznavour, aka Tasso Remdaiken. So here it is. This is the blue version. It's in blue and black color. Had this for a few years. This is not painted, but it does have the stickers and the dry transfers on it. So, and panel lined. So it's pretty close to the way you'll get it out of the box here. It's a nice and chunky suit. It's a little, it's a little on the older side, but this is actually still a very good kit in my opinion. I think it's still held up pretty well over the years. Let's just take a closer look at the head here. It's a very dark suit, so you gotta kind of wait for the light balance on my camera to catch up here. And this comes with the little wing binders, thrusters. That was sort of a big thing with a lot of the Zeta era suits. They had that design. You can stow all the weapons on the suit, which is a feature which I very much love. Comes with one beam sabers right there, and you get the two beam guns. They can kind of move back and forth a little bit, because supposedly the Rick-DS can still fire its beam guns when they're on the back. And you do get the one clay bazooka, which is stored right there on the backpack on a little clip. You got also thrusters. You got some little red details underneath the outer armor, which is really nice, underneath the thrusters on the legs there. You also get red underneath the skirt and the front skirt. It's a nice little thing. It's not gray, it's red. It's really nice. Gives it a little bit of color detail. Now for internals, you get some internals here. I'll show you a few photos here of it. You do get some internals in the upper arm area, the shoulder, and in the torso area. You do get some internal detail there. It's a little bit on the back, on these back wing binders, but it's not much there to look at. You do get some inner frame detail on the lower leg area. A lot of that's covered up by the plates, this layered exterior parts here. It's layered up very much like the way on the Rick Dome is, or the Jogug is. So it's kind of the same way. So. Alright, so let's talk about posability on this kit before we get on to some of the little more interesting features. The head can move a little bit back and forth, not a whole lot, about that much, and it can move up like so and down like so. The wing binders, of course, can move around a little bit. They're on a ball joint. I already showed you the guns. The arms, you do get more than a 90-degree bend out of this. Hand is on a ball joint. Arm can rotate around. For the shoulder, can go up. Ooh, sorry. I'm gonna cough there. Can go about that far. And there is a little bit of a shoulder can come out a little bit like so. So it can bend out a little bit that way. Now these hands, let me show you these. They're kind of big and boxy and kind of interesting. You get individually articulated fingers on this kit because they are so big. They're very much like the hands on the Jogug, kind of individually articulated like that. A couple notches for the weapons to fit into, so they can plug into. One interesting thing I kind of noticed on this kit, sorry, my throat's a little scratchy today, but I'll get through it. If you look inside the knuckle there, you can actually see where the little multi-purpose launcher in the hand is. Because you watch Zeta Gundam, you'll see that they often launch little like glue pellets or balloon dummies and extinguishers through this little multi-purpose port on the knuckle of the hands, and really on the Rick DS is the only master grade I've seen that has that actually depicted on it. So I thought that was a really interesting little detail, because I mean the Gundam Mark II and the Zeta Gundam and the Yakushiki also have supposed to have the same thing, but it's not really, that detail is kind of omitted on the kits. So, but probably because the hands are so small. So, moving on down here on the torso, we got some decent range of movement on this torso here. It's not going to bend around that much, so it's only going to go that far, but it can bend back and forth pretty well and side to side pretty well, so it's not bad there. Front skirt armor can lift up out of the way pretty well. The side skirt, it doesn't really, it moves up a little bit that much. Not a whole lot movement. And the back skirt can, it doesn't move too much, it moves about that much. Now onto the leg. Can bend forward not that far, bend back about that much. The bend in your leg is actually a little bit more than 90 degrees, which is actually pretty good considering how bulky this thing is. And for the foot, it's one piece foot. It's not split in two, but you actually get a pretty decent amount of bend out of this. You can bend forward pretty far and back pretty much. And as big as these feet are, this thing is pretty stable on the ground. And in case you're wondering, this kit can actually crouch down. I remember I saw one scene in the Zeta Gundam movies where the Rick DS was crouching down, and I kind of wondered, can it actually do that? Well, yes, the kit can actually crouch down. I mean, it's not a perfect crouch, but it can do it, as you can see in this little image I'm showing you right now. So let's get on some neat little things here about this kit here. Let me show you the accessories here. Now these little beam guns, they're kind of held in by little hooks on the back here. And they kind of clip on to this right here. They do come with a removable E-pack. It's a little tough to get off, but it will come off. And it just kind of clips right back on. This one is for the left hand. They fit in pretty well. They look kind of small on the Rick DS, but it does an okay job of holding it. It's fine. What weapon you get is the clay bazooka. It's kind of held in by this little clip right here. Excuse me. And fun fact, if you happen to have the Yakushiki kit, this is the exact same clay bazooka that the Yakushiki has. You can actually stick this on the Yakushiki if you want to have two clay bazookas on the Yakushiki, or you can take the clay bazooka off the Yakushiki and put it on the Rick DS if you want two clay bazookas on here, because they're the same thing. There is a missile pack you can kind of take out of this missile clip. It's really hard to get out, and whoop, actually that popped right out that time. Usually it's pretty hard for me to get it out, but there it is. There it is. Go back in. And this is pretty much the same thing. I find with this it's a little easier to hold it under the armpit. Let's see if I can get it in there. There we go. It's a little easier to get it underneath the armpit than to put it over the shoulder. In fact, it probably looks a little more natural this way, I'd say. So the other thing I kind of want to show is the head here. There's some interesting stuff going on with the head on the Rick DS here. First off, there are these little guns. If I can get to show here. Head opens up, and you're probably going to need something to pry those guns down. So I have the beam saber blade. You can use that. There you go. There's our little machine guns that are in the head. They actually put that in there. They don't look very big. They're pretty tiny. And you can just kind of pull that back down. And there it goes. Now the other thing you get with the head, pull it off, is you get the emergency escape pod is in there. This will come out. See if I can get it. There we go. Comes right out. And if you have a little pilot figure, I don't have one in there. In fact, I don't think I can get my light to really shine in there. Can't really see inside there too well. It only has the chair, and the cockpit chair is in there. So you can put a pilot figure in if you want. I didn't put one in there. It's kind of empty. But that's the hole it sits in. This kind of goes right back in. And you can pop the head right back on. That's one of the neat things about this kit. That it actually has the escape pod you can actually pull out of it. They have the pods in the Gunpla Mark II and the, let's see, the Nemo. I'm assuming maybe the Akashiki 2.0 has a pod in it, but I haven't built that kit yet, so I can't really say for certain. I know the 1.0 does not. So beyond that, you do get the beam saber. It's a basic beam saber. There's really nothing to it. You get the green blades with it. That's it, really. Nothing special about the beam saber. But yep. So anyway, that is the Rick DS. This is still an excellent kit. If you have looked at it and thought about it, I would say definitely go ahead and get it if you can. See if you can find a good deal on it and get it. It's still a very nice kit. It doesn't have a whole lot of surface detail on the body. It's a little plain, but since it's so dark, you really don't notice it. You do get a couple of bad nubs on the side here you're going to have to pay attention to. In terms of seam lines, there's really not that much to deal with. The seams are pretty well covered up for the most part on this kit. Except for the nub marks on the sides of the legs. That's probably the biggest thing that stands out on it. Now, I haven't built the red version of the Rick DS, but I do know some of the differences off the top of my head. On the red one is that the red piece on that one's a little different. It's got like a notch on it. The thrusters on the red one are different. They're more round thrusters. Inside the wing binders on the back, and down in the leg are round thrusters. And I believe the knees are different on the red one. But as far as I'm aware, that's the only real difference between this one and the red one. So it's kind of up to your preference which one you want. But I'd say probably either one are pretty good kits here, and they still hold up very well today. So really, that's my review of the Rick DS. It gets a big thumbs up. Definitely one of my favorite grunt suits, and still a good kit today. So anyway, that'll be it for now, and be another review next time at some point. So there's my beam saber. Anyway, take care and have a great week. Bye bye.